Blessings, blessings. This is Reverend Dr. Leslie Duroseau inviting you to It's a Leap of Faith thing, African dance and yoga. Before we get started, I just want to share again that many of you know I'm an ordained LW United Methodist Church, but that's not the only thing that I do. I'm also a certified holistic health counselor. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm a spiritual guide and coach. I'm a high priestess. I'm a divinely feminine mentor. I'm a way shower. I'm a healer. I'm a truth teller and a truth seeker. I am a wisdom womb, W-O-M-B, woman. And I also wanted to share that I've been given the Egyptian name Dr. Asarai Atana Akumen, which means messenger of light. And so as we go along in our study in our course, I'll share more about me and all of my Egyptian understanding, which is the basis and the premise for this course. And so this course is a series of teaching and educating about yoga and its history, understanding that yoga was birthed out of our ancient Egyptian, it was birthed from our ancient Egyptian ancestors, and it is about their perspective, their philosophy, their understanding of who God is in their lives. And so I will be teaching asana, the positioning and the poses of yoga. You will know the names of those positions and poses. You will know how they benefit your body. You will learn the importance of the breaths, pranayama, and the importance of connecting yoga, the movement, the poses, and the positioning with African dance. And so again, this is a 6-week series. It starts October 25th and it ends on November 29th. The total price for the course is $50. That includes a $15 registration fee, and it also includes giving you accessibility to the videos whenever you like. There will be a new video posted every Sunday, and again, it will be accessible for you at any time after that initial day. And so, as we get started, I just want to do a short teaching on the history of yoga. And again, I'm starting out, which I know may come as a shock or new information for many people, that yoga started in Egypt. And Egypt is also called Kemet, right? And so this is about the Kemetic origin of yoga, teaching yoga from an Egyptian, again, Kemet perspective, as well as an Indian one. And so yoga was first practiced and discovered by the ancient Egyptians. Yoga is actually a discipline that is part of the overall system of spirituality of ancient Egypt called Sheta Neter, N-E-T-E-R, Sheta Neter. And Sheta Neter is the basis of Kemetic yoga, and it is the major world religions around the world that have also ascribe to or have their basis or their basic understanding in Sheta Neter. And so yoga means to yoke or to link back. I often share the Adinkra symbol, Sankofa, because that word also means, yes, to go back, to look back, in order to come forward. So yoga means to link back individual consciousness to its original source, the original essence, the realization of one's true nature, one with God. And the goal of yoga is enlightenment, complete harmony of mind, body, soul, and spirit, discovery of one's true identity and union with the divine. And so in in Egyptian understanding, which the Greeks borrowed many of it, there's a word sema, S-E-M-A, which means union of the higher and lower self, the duality which leads to the knowledge of the one. In Sanskrit, Indian Sanskrit, that same understanding for this union of higher and lower self is called yoga, which most people are familiar with. In ancient Egyptian teaching, Smai Tawi, Smaitawi or Smaita means union of two lands, north and south, lower and upper lands in Egypt. Union of the lower self with the higher self. The upper self is considered your divine self or divinity, and the lower self is considered or relates to negativity, worldliness, egoism, and ignorance. So the upper self, your divine self, is considered Heru or Horus, and the lower Egypt or lower self relates to Set. So as we continue with our study of Egyptian Kemet yoga and African dance, we will learn the story of Osiris or Horus and our Set and Set to help us to understand some of the traditional and foundational understandings of how people related to God and understood God in their lives. Again, helping us to understand the importance of asana, yoga poses and movements, and how it relates to us identifying and relating with God and with one another. So during this 6-week course, each week we will engage in breath work, pranayama. Each week we will be introduced to a new pose or posture, asana. We will be taught how to do them. We would also be taught the benefits of them. Each week we will connect our practice to, again, ancient Egyptian understanding, spirituality, and philosophy. Each week we will engage in African dance, connecting it to the poses and breath work the same way our African ancestors did. Movement was greatly important to our ancestors, and they understood that movement was a way to promote union with God and for the gods and the goddesses. And we're going to talk more about this understanding of when we say gods and goddesses. I know often in different religious traditions, we don't like to use those words in those language, but we're going to learn about that, and we're going to learn why it's okay to say that and why it's not a bad thing. So when we think about movement, we have to remember, or we are reminded when we're doing yoga and African dance, that movement was a part of the ritual aspect of the spiritual myth, which when practiced served to harmonize the energies and promote the physical health of the body and direct the mind in a meditative capacity to discover and cultivate divine consciousness. The understanding was by acting and moving like the gods and goddesses, one can essentially discover the character, energy, and divine agency. So I know I said a lot there, but this is the main thing that I want all of us to get. This is about our spiritual enlightenment. This is about our spiritual awakening. I believe, or I feel often, we limit ourselves to becoming more divine-like, to becoming more God-like, to becoming the gods and goddesses that God would have us to be, because we allow for traditional understanding and rituals to hinder our growth and understanding of who God is and how God chooses to engage in relationship with all of creation. And so my hope and my prayer as we continue to go forth each week, that you will begin to develop and grow spiritually. You will begin to identify ways and perhaps you were hindering your spiritual growth and development due to some ritualistic and traditional understandings. And so this for me is about your liberation. This is about your freedom. This is about you being able to think concretely, to think and to open up your minds and your hearts to receive God all over again and what God is saying to you. And so I invite all of us to come together, even right now, if you just take a breath through your nose and open the mouth and let out. Let us experience God the way God would allow us to experience God. let us be bold enough to go forth and claim our rich ancestry, our rich history that is going to help to define who we are in God, which will be such an awakening for all of us. We limit ourselves so much. We hinder our experience with God based upon a lot of false narratives or false teachings or false understandings. Especially as Black and brown folks, we have allowed for others to erase our history and the importance of who we are. And so we're going to be rediscovering those things on this journey. So I am so happy that you have joined us. Get ready for session number 1. God bless you.